What's up, everybody? I am Johnny Christ, and this is Drinks with Johnny. Thank you so much for checking out the show. Today, I am joined by an old friend, and we're gonna talk about everything from when we first met to what's been going on since. And there's a lot to get in there. So before we go there, I want to thank you for joining the show, and thanks to CBD oil from Sweet Drop for making me feel better. I start every show out with this now, pretty much. I don't have all the answers about CBD or cannabis oil, but Sweet Drop does. So head over to sweetdrop.com, find out what they can do for you. I'm going to start this off with a little blood orange CBD oil. Let that sit under the tongue for a minute. It just takes the edge off for me. I can't explain everything. I swear it makes me feel a little bit better. Don't take my word for it. Go to sweetdrop.com. Use promo code DrinksWithJohnny. You're going to get 20% off your order right there. That's DrinksWithJohnny, JOHNNY. So head over to sweetdrop.com. Get you some. All right. As I stated, I'm joined by a very old friend, a very good friend of mine. Cristina from Lacuna Coil is here. How are you doing? All the way from Italy.
Hey. Hi. I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's so good to see you again.
It's so good to see you as well. Time flies.
Yeah.
I just realized how many years we haven't seen each other. It's just like, psh.
Yeah, and it's crazy to think that was so long ago too, because it doesn't.
Goodness.
Got so many good, vivid memories that we'll get into. But before we do that, I just, given the state of things, how is everyone doing in your camp, your family? How are all the guys doing?
Everybody's okay here, despite the situation. I have to be honest with you now. Here in Italy, at least the situation is way more calm compared to a few months ago. I know that you guys are going through pure madness, so I really hope that everything will calm down. But we are all okay. We're all healthy and okay.
Yeah, that's good. No, you just mentioned like part of it that's going on right now. We're recording this on August 4th right now, and yeah, it's kind of flipped. Everything has been flipped. You guys were one of the countries that was hit the hardest at the beginning of this, and now you guys are starting to reopen. As I saw, I got some friends that are actually just moved to Italy and Rome, and reporting back how things are. It's just crazy that we're struggling so hard in this country right now with people not believing and everything like that. It's insane. Like I just hope we could get back to it sooner than later. But let's get back to like some good old times. Let's not focus on all the bullshit right now.
Exactly. Let's try to get something.
Let's try and have a little. Let's have a little fun with this one. So we met back in 2006 on the Ozfest.
Yes.
Yeah. So that goes back. What is that? 14 years? It's 14 years. I could do math sometimes.
Crazy.
That was our first and only Ozfest. I think you guys did a couple though, right?
We did a 2004 and 2006. We actually did two, and the second one was with you guys. And it was a surprise because we were coming from Italy first, so of course we were not up to date with everything. But I never heard of you guys, and I was just like, I'm really curious. I really want to see them. And you had this incredible setup, and you put out like a great show, and I was just like, how come did I not know those guys? And you were so awesome because you were so welcoming with everyone.
Oh yeah,
and I have a lot of great memories from that tour.
Oh, absolutely! A lot of those days off in between where we would get together at like the hotel pools and stuff and have drinks and everything.
And a party on your bus. I remember dancing. The volume was so loud. I was wondering, all the roadies that were sleeping probably told us, to go to hell.
Yeah, they did it. They did a couple of times. Those were back. Those were back in the days on our bus where we'd share. With the roadies that were in the back, and they're, poor guys are just trying to go to sleep, and we're just a bunch of, 20-year-old assholes in there just drinking and blaring music. And yeah, those were some great nights. For us, like doing the Ozfest, we've done Warped Tours before that, and that's kind of, with the camaraderie that comes with doing a Warped Tour is so awesome. And we just went into Ozfest thinking it was going to be the exact same way. And for the most part it was, but there was a couple of times where we're like, oh, this is what makes it different as a metal show at the time to like punk, the punk camaraderie there. No one cares. No one has egos. It's punk rock music, you know. Then you get into some metal bands and stuff, and some people have egos. At least back then, a lot's changed. Let's be honest. Over
True.
the years.
True. I agree.
I wanted to ask you, for you personally, like, what have you noticed, like, just in the business side and the music side of the metal scene, or just music in
Everything
general?
changed.
Yeah.
Everything changed. I mean, of course, forgetting all the part that, you know, belongs to the very, very beginning, where internet was not even existing,
Mm-hmm.
where it was really difficult to even make a phone call to a country outside of the country you were living in. Beside all this, I just noticed that there is more interaction now in between artists and fans. While when I started more than 20 years ago, I remember that a lot of fans were expecting this distance from the artist because this was belonging to the rock star aura. They also almost wanted this distance, and now if you're distance, if you're an asshole, which is something that I always despised, it's something that they don't like. They don't put together the rock star not talking with everyone with, oh, he's a better artist because of this. It's the other way around.
Totally, and I mean that goes to the technology. That goes to you know, the onslaught of these social medias, Instagram and everything, where you really it's awesome because you can connect with your fans like very very much on a personal level. It does take a little bit of the mystique away from it in some ways, but you know that's
But
good
you
and
know
bad.
what? I like it. I
Yeah.
personally like it because I never looked at my favorite artists online saying, "Oh, look at this person put a picture without makeup, so I'm going to think less of this person." It was the other way around because I was like, this person has the balls to show himself, herself in the true form. They
Totally.
don't need gimmicks. They don't need filters. They don't need to show something that is not real in order to feel appreciated and to feel strong and fierce. So this is something that, at least to me, I mean, it gets me in a very, very positive way. I'm just like, I like you even better.
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, it does it for me. You know, we in Avenged Sevenfold held on to our mystique about as long as we can. We still have it. We're still very secretive about certain things, but obviously with things like this show, I was one of the late ones to the party to get an Instagram. Like I was like, I don't even know what the hell that is. I don't want any part of it. And I finally succumbed to it, and I'm enjoying it because for me, it's showing a side that is more comical. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people know that
Yeah.
I'm goofy in the band. They just see you on stage being a goofball. They don't understand like that. When I have conversations with people like you or my friend, you know, our friends and stuff, we're all just shooting the shit and having laughs, right? Like normal people would when they get together. And I think that's I think that's kind of the premise of this show too, is just to relax and have a good open conversation.
Totally,
So,
totally. And I never got the impression, for example, that you are a goofy on stage, because on stage you show balls. I mean, I
yeah,
see a show and I'm like, he knows exactly why he's there. So if you're funny, if you're awkward, if you're goofy off stage, it's completely different. But
yeah.
that is the difference for me. To be very professional on stage and kick ass on stage, but then when you're off stage, you're just like, okay, I just want to be more relaxed. And we are in a regular situation. We're just like talking about some normal stuff.
Absolutely. It's pretty wild. I mean, you got a really big social media following. You're on Instagram at just Cristina Scabbia, right?
Yep.
And then
Yep.
you have a Facebook. I saw
Instagram, Facebook,
Twitter, all of it, and it's all Cristina.
Twitch,
Yeah.
everything.
Oh, you just brought up Twitch. I got to ask you about Twitch because I'm
Yeah.
late to the party on that too. All I know is it's growing and you're on it now and playing. Are you playing video games like everybody else, or what's your?
I
what is
also
this?
play video games. I play chat. Well, Twitch is a platform that was specifically born for gamers. And I never thought about entering this platform because, I mean, I'm not a pro, and I was just like, oh, why would I stream video games only because I love them so much? You know, I was expecting people to want to see pro gamers. So I completely forgot. I remember I made a registration with another nickname, but I never really used it. And during the lockdown, I was literally trying to find some ways to get me interested in something. And I knew that it was not going to be music because I didn't want to connect music with anything negative going on in life. And because for me, music is with my voice in my bands. So I didn't want to do anything solo. I didn't want to record anything at home and maybe mix and put out there. It was just my feeling. I mean, I wasn't feeling creative on that outlet.
Totally.
So I started to think about Twitch and I was just like, well, I love to talk. I love to interact with people. How could I make it work? And I started almost not almost for fun, for the pure joy of interacting with people. My channel sucked so bad because I didn't even know how to use anything. I was a total virgin. I was talking to people who were streaming and they were just like, well, if you go to Streamlabs, if you go to OBS, and I was like, no, 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 no. You're talking with a little girl, 2 years old, that has no idea
Yeah, you got to explain those
what
things.
you're talking about. So I started to learn and it got very exciting because I was just like, I don't know where this is going to lead, but I'm learning something new. And I became, the real little girl that I was learning every day. And that was really fun and exciting for me, despite of how good the channel was going to be or if it was working. I learned from my own mistakes. The first live streams sucked because I didn't even know how to let it work and the microphone.
Man.
I had no idea. I was just like, whatever.
The fans of this show know exactly how that goes. I did some live stuff just on YouTube. I have, I've been filming these, but it's also predominantly a podcast. And, I like to separate from the podcast a little bit when I put it out on YouTube and stuff. So it has just to look a little different. But it's really just the meat and potatoes of it is our conversations, right? And it's just funny because I tried to do some live stuff. Or I did do some live stuff for a while, and there was a lot of technical difficulties. Let's say that.
It's crazy. It's crazy the stuff that goes on behind the scenes. Because I thought, okay, I have a computer, I just get connected, but there is a lot more that I was not aware of. But it's cool. It's cool. I like it because I'm learning every day. I'm just like, oh, this is cool. How is this working?
Yeah, and it's just fun. It's like it's more of a hobby, really, when you break it down. When you have something.
Yes,
I'm not on Twitch.
I think that's the proper way to think about it. I know that it becomes almost a job because you have to be consistent in order to make it in a professional way. But you have to do it because it's fun for you.
Totally.
Because when it becomes because it is a job, but when it becomes a job, it's boring. You know what I mean. So I still have to keep the fun in it. Like tomorrow, I'm gonna build a home PC, which is something that I never did before. I just bought a home PC, and the guys that are just like that, where I went to buy the computer, were like, why don't you try to build it yourself? I mean, we're gonna guide you. And I was just like, yes.
That's rad.
It's gonna be like Lego.
Yeah, totally. That's amazing.
It's gonna suck and it's not gonna work, but I did it.
But it's gonna be your baby.
It's gonna be my baby. Yes, I'm gonna
go.
look at it, not functioning, but hey, you look cool.
Yeah, I mean, I saw you mentioned real quick, and then we'll get off Twitch here in a second. But you mentioned that you didn't want it to turn into kind of a job, really. But I mean, there is money in it, obviously, and that's a good thing. But the reason why I still haven't gone over to Twitch, there's a few, but one of the main ones is when I started to look at it for a second for this show, I was like, man, you got to be really consistent on it. And I was like, I don't.
Yes and no. Yes and no. That's why I brought out the fun part, because you have to do something that you like. I mean, I would be still playing video games and I would be still talking in front of a mirror because I'm a huge logoroic. So I was just like, I would be still doing this. But
yeah.
I would
now you're just putting a camera on. Yeah, you're putting a camera
exactly.
on and interacting with your fans.
That's why it's not hard.
Yeah.
If I had to create a channel in which, let's say, I have to sing every time, I have to sit down and play and compose, that would be hard for me because I have a lot of other things going on in my life. So I don't know if it would be fun for me because I can't separate, my band, the band I'm in, from music. To me, music is to be with them. And that's why I wanted to bring Cristina in this TV channel and my everyday life and how I am out of Lacuna Coil instead of doing something that would have been more more of a pain in the ass. Like, oh my god, I have to do this today. Oh, I don't really want to.
Yeah, no, and it's in your hands too. It's you're doing it
Yeah,
by yourself, and that I think that that's
yeah.
another thing.
And I
It's
take
a nice outlet.
responsibilities. If I say
Yep.
something wrong, is it because I said it? It has no filters, so
Yeah, it's
there's no
live.
one else
Yeah,
that
and there's no one telling you,
I
hey, you
cannot blame
probably
it on
should say
someone
that.
else if I say something that,
Yeah,
but whatever, at least it's me.
yeah, totally. What games are you playing though? Like, let's get on to some more of the
Lately,
hobby
I've
parts of
been
it.
playing The Last of Us. Well, I have a PS4.
Okay.
I will be totally new to PC gaming because I haven't had a PC for at least 15 years, at least.
Yeah.
I always had Macs and a PlayStation. So the last games I played at were The Last of Us 2, Ghost of Tsushima.
Okay.
I recently played to an old game called Detroit. All different kind of games, but mostly adventures, open spaces. Okay,
Drop the
and
drink.
there we
Drop the
go.
drink. Party
Yep,
foul.
spill the drink, whatever. I gesticulate as every Italian. I have to move my hands with the speed of the light. Of course,
I
if
think
I
that
don't
that's
do
only
this,
okay
I
for you
can't.
to say that. I can't say that. So I'm glad.
It is true. I didn't do this, but I have to do this.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
not, I can't communicate properly. So a lot of different games, and I always get new ones. So I almost never finish a game because I'm always excited to start a new one. But I
That's
just
rad.
love the nerd world. I always loved the nerd world. I always felt part. I always felt a big
I'm nerdy
nerd.
about some things, but I got to be honest with you. I asked about the video games just to see if I knew any of them. I didn't know a single one of those video games you just
Yeah,
said.
well, they changed. Even the video game world changed a lot.
Yeah, no, I know. Like I got a 3-year-old son that he's 3.5 now. He's not quite into video games yet, but I know it's coming. So I know I have to get back into it so I could interact with
Oh
him.
yeah, get ready for some Fortnite and stuff like
Yeah,
this
I know that's
soon.
gonna happen. I know that's gonna happen. So I do appreciate you telling me a few of these things so I can
So you
get
can be
back.
the cool dad, like, hey, but do you
Yeah,
know this one?
yeah, exactly.
Oh, I also have a lot of old school stuff as well. But of course, if you want to play something new, you kind of have to know
Well, that's
what's
all I
going.
have. One of my cameras actually sitting over here is on my cocktail table that has like 60 of the old arcade, like Pac-Man and Galaga and stuff. And then I have my Nintendo Mini that I that I take around to
Oh
say
yeah,
yes.
yeah. I have a Nintendo here as well, an old console as well.
Nice. Yeah, those are the
Yeah.
games. Those are the games that I played, and I stopped playing for a really long time. But the nostalgia gets me back to it every once in a while.
Yeah, you just need a little practice because I stopped playing for a few years and then I played back again and I was just like, what is this? What do I have to do with the characters? What? I was just expecting to move left and right.
Yeah,
So
just jump up and down, maybe shoot a couple
nope,
things.
nope. Now you have to work on your character. You have to
Yeah,
add
jeez.
points. You have to add
I'm sure that's
abilities and weapons and just like, oh, come on, I just wanna kick ass
yeah,
around. No?
yeah. And that's part of the reason why I haven't dived it back into it yet because I know once you do it's all or nothing. So I'm just like I'll wait till my son's ready for it. But you mentioned a little bit more about like you love all the nerdy things. What was it like then? I saw that I'm not the biggest comic book guy in the world, but I did see. I know a little bit about it, and I saw that there was a variation in Italy for a Batman comic, the Dark
Yes.
Knights. What is it? Dark Knights Metal.
From the Batman Olaf's, yes.
Yes.
We
So
were
can
on
you tell me a
number
little bit about that? And
68.
like, yeah, and if that was, you say you're into nerdy things, comics have got to be in there. So that must have been pretty cool for you.
I was thrilled. I was thrilled to be on the cover of Batman. It was incredible. I wasn't really expecting. I remember that I got a message from an Italian girl who works for the publishing, of the comic, and she wrote me on Instagram, and she said like, "Well, DC would be interested to have you guys on the cover of Batman." And I thought, not that I thought that it was a joke, but I thought that it was one of those things that that they're asking you, but that it never really happened. And I said, I would love that. I would absolutely love that. So I gave her the name of our manager. And after a couple of weeks, we got a mail from our management saying like, "Hey guys, what do you think about this and that?" And I was like, "Well, what do you think?" I said,
Yeah, yeah,
of course,
yeah.
yes. Oh no, I don't want to be on the cover of Batman. No, no, no." No, please. And that's how, we got in touch with the artists who did the cover, with Bartek, which is the guy we are in touch with from DC Comics in Los Angeles. And we also went to the DC Comics offices to visit, and it was amazing. It was amazing, and it was a great collaboration, very positive,
So is it safe
very
to say
very
that you're more of a
exciting.
DC girl then, or Marvel?
You know what?
Can you even say anything
I'm
anymore now?
not taking sides. I mean,
Okay,
there are a
cool.
lot of movies from Marvel that I love, but Batman is Batman. I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
I agree. I mean,
How can you say something about Batman? I mean,
no,
there is
no.
no way.
I don't really pick and choose a side too much. I mean, I do lean towards Marvel, but it's not like I go, "Oh, I don't like DC" or anything like
But
that.
maybe because they did more stuff and they're more popular in terms of just like, movies put out and marketing plans and
Well, the other
stuff.
thing was Saturday mornings here in the States when I was a kid had Spider-Man and X-Men back to back every Saturday morning. So that kind of got me into Marvel as a kid, you know. Those
No,
cartoons
no,
were
but
awesome.
I'm not taking sides. Of
Okay.
course, I love DC because we work together, but I wouldn't be picking sides anyway.
Either way, yeah. Well, that's good. What are some of the other interests you have though? We talk comic books, gaming. What are some of the other like
Food.
nerdy things? I guess food. Okay,
Yes. Well, nerdy, I basically have everything in my house. I have a lot of masks.
I see
Um,
that.
Masks, but I have some Star Wars masks, some masks from video games, like
That's
three or
awesome.
four big ones. I have a lot of Star Wars things.
Star Wars, awesome.
Like literally, like I wish I could just like turn the computer to show you, but it would be all
It would be
all
all messed up.
shaky.
Yeah.
Yes, that is another weird obsession that I have. X-rays, like
Yeah.
old
What is
X-rays.
that? I mean, you're using it
Those are
as art.
my actually X-rays of my spine.
Whoa.
Yeah, because there was a period in life a few years ago that I was obsessed with X-rays. Also because I have scoliosis. I always had it, but I never got any problems. Luckily, so far, no pain and no nothing. So I did a lot of X-rays because of this and became obsessed. I was looking at X-rays, fascinated by the fact that we could look into the human body. So a lot of fans came on board and knew about this obsession. So they started to give me a lot of X-rays, which was a little weird,
Of
at
of
first. Like,
themselves, like everyone just brings in,
hey,
hey,
this
this
is
is
my
me.
leg. Hey, this is my arm. Was kind of surreal, but I always thought that I wanted to do something artistic with them. I thought about lamps. I thought about painting over them,
Hmm.
even though it was a little bit weird because it's like, no, this is not my body, so I don't know how to do it in a very respectful way. So one day I remember I just went to IKEA. I saw a couple of panels, beautiful, panels with lights, and I was like, those are perfect for my spine X-rays, and I just put them on, and they're in my living room.
That's amazing. No, they look great. Like I was gonna ask. I thought that was like just. So I'm so glad you said that because I was gonna ask about it anyway because it just looks. I'm looking at it right now and I was like, it's really interesting art. Like, did someone paint that and everything? And you're just like, nope, that's just my spine back there.
Yeah, that's just my spine with a little light, with a lamp underneath.
That's
And then
awesome.
other passions, I mean, food in general. I mean,
What's
as a good
what's your?
Italian, food,
Yeah, I mean,
coffee.
the last time I was in Italy was for touring in 2018. You know, the European festivals runs that we'll get into. But yeah, we had like 3 days off in Florence, and we just binged the entire time, just walking around, going from restaurant to restaurant, and we were having an absolute blast. But then I had to like really try and lose the weight again, and it was really tough. So I mean, the
I know the
Italian food's
feeling. I know the feeling.
absolutely
Yeah.
delicious. What's one of your favorite dishes then?
Well, I mean, I'm usually a carb girl. I love pasta, pizza,
Hmm.
but recently I kind of started to learn in a more balanced way because I was eating way too much carbs, way too
Okay.
much carbs, especially during the first part of the quarantine. It was making handmade pasta, pizza, and focaccia every day.
Oh
So it
yeah.
was just like, okay, this is way too much.
Yeah.
I put on weight, but not only that, it was unhealthy just to eat this way. So I'm trying to to have a more balanced uh, diet now,
Yeah,
like
well, I
exercise and
don't actually
everything.
eat carbs too often anymore because to balance it out because of how much I'm drinking, which all has a lot of carbs in it. I just try to cut it out when I'm eating. It doesn't really work all that great. It just kind of.
Whatever, whatever.
But
Well,
what?
we'll see. But it's in the end, it's working out to eat or drink more.
Yeah,
That is,
exactly. You just got to figure out. You got to
yeah,
figure out the balance, right? The pyramid or something.
that is the balance I'm looking for. Yeah.
But yeah, well, so real quick, during the lockdown, you already mentioned it. It's been a lot of people have been struggling to keep their fitness together during the lockdown. What were you doing? And I mean, you already stated a lot of things are opening back up for you guys in Italy. I would imagine. I don't know if the state is opening up gyms or anything like that, or what are you doing to stay in shape then, or keep your mind and body healthy?
Well, I have a treadmill at home that I bought last year, but I didn't really use much. So when I decided to go back on track and started to exercise more, I said, I'm going to start, from the treadmill and I'm going to do it step by step. I can't expect, to have like resistance and strength from day one because, yeah, I play concerts, but to work out is not exactly the same thing. So I started with the treadmill. And as soon as I got a little better in terms of resistance and I could stay on the treadmill longer, I got bored because I always need to do something different and I was just like, what can I do? So I started to watch some videos on YouTube of exercises like cardio with no tools, nothing at home, because it was the easiest way to do it for me because gyms were closed. And to be honest with you, I wanted something very easy because I was thinking that I wanted to do something at home and then go to take a shower and get ready to do something else during the rest of the day.
Totally.
And it worked because I mean now I've been doing it consistently for quite a while. I feel stronger, I feel more flexible, I've lost some weight, and I have been able to keep a balance in between, the food pleasures and the I can keep in shape anyway, and feel healthy.
And that's always the difficult part. A lot of people like, and it
Yes.
has a lot to do with the diet too. For me, like, I mean, it's the drinking for me. If I didn't drink, I'd be in great shape, but that's not going to happen. Anyways,
What is your favorite drink?
all of it. No, I mean, I have so many favorite drinks. Well, I've said on the show too, one of my favorites, and I've gotten into, through doing this show, I've gotten into making drinks and doing, fancying myself a bit of a bartender, and I've gotten into like
Okay,
old
so you,
timey
you like
American
cocktails
drinks.
more than just like I'm gonna have some rum, I'm gonna have some whiskey, or you like?
Recently, yeah. But I mean, recently I just had this. I have a bottle back here. I had the world's strongest beer in the other day, and it's made in Scotland, and it's 168 proof, and it has a warning label on it. You're not supposed to consume more than 35 milliliters of it.
Wow,
And
yeah,
it
I
tasted
bet
awful, but the drunk was amazing.
it sucks, but hey, strong.
It was very strong. Now,
Next time you're in Italy, you have to try this one.
what's that one?
This is from a company. I mean, they're very famous for making grappa.
Mm-hmm.
Bassano del Grappa. It's a city in Veneto, in the region of Veneto.
Yeah, I've had a lot of good grappa actually when I've been out in Italy and other places in Europe. It's kind of
That's
everywhere
like,
there. It's
especially in that city. I mean, there are at least four places that actually make grappa. So you just walk for 10 minutes and you're out.
awesome. Well, hopefully the next time I'm there, you're there too, and you could take me around.
We're going to
That'd be
take you
awesome.
there because it's a beautiful city. It's really, really
I would
beautiful city.
absolutely love that. Before we go on any further, though, I'd be remiss to not talk more about Lacuna Coil. I saw that you guys are going to do your first live stream, calling it Live from the Apocalypse, and it's your last record, Black Anima. You're going to play it in its entirety, right?
Yes, it's going to be like a one of a kind show because we're going to be playing Black Anima from beginning to the end. We don't know if it's going to be exactly like the record because we're going to include 3 songs that were bonus tracks from a deluxe edition,
Oh,
and
cool.
also one song that was given to Amazon Music as a special bonus. New setup, a new outfit. We just wanted to do a real show, not from our living rooms, not from a rehearsal room. We wanted the feeling of a real show.
So you're putting in production, you're putting in a lot.
Yeah,
a lot
yes,
is going into
yes.
this.
And now we are working because, of course, there is a lot of pre-production because it's going to be a real show, and you know how it works.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You
I
know
mean,
it
is
very
it
well.
where exactly are you guys going to be filming from? Are you allowed to disclose that location?
From Milano. We're gonna be playing from Milano from a club called Alcatraz,
Okay.
and the streaming will be worldwide. We're gonna be using a platform called A Live. It's new,
Okay.
but this way, I mean, whoever gets the ticket will not be able to only watch the show, but it will be able to interact with us. It's just like a new platform in which fans can chat with each other. They
Yeah.
can send us applauses and stuff. It's gonna be a weird
It'll be very
and
different,
new
and nothing can
situation.
replace a real live concert. But in
I
these
know.
times, just trying to figure out what we can do is, that's one of the cool things. I see some other bands doing that too. I'm looking forward to your guys's. I will definitely try and check that out.
No, now the some venues have started to reopen, even in some places like open spaces, but with the limitation that people has to stay sit with a mask on and they have to sit separated, observing social distancing. So it's really weird because I mean you're on a stage performing and people has to stay sit. They cannot even stand up and just like singing whatever. They have to
That's got to be so weird because I
be in
mean, coming from
control.
the hard rock world, the
It
metal
is.
world, like anytime, I even remember just going to places before social distancing, before the coronavirus, that you wouldn't have the pit right in front of you. It'd be some amphitheaters that the pit's in the back, so you have just seating, and those honestly felt awkward sometimes. And it's like, so I couldn't imagine that. Like how does that change your energy on stage?
Well, I was very excited to play because I haven't played a show from last February, so I was just like excited to be there. But of course, it was a completely different feeling. Somehow it was like playing in front of a jury, and I knew that of course everyone that was there was having a good time regardless, because if not, they wouldn't ever pay the ticket for the show. But it was just like, okay, I'm going to give my best performance and I hope that they will like it because they couldn't really express themselves fully.
Yeah.
And I know that the situation is different, but at least it's a restart. I was happy just to start again, step by step. I mean, this is the only thing we can do now. I'll take it as long as I can sing on a stage. I mean,
Yeah, no, that's what we got into this business for, right? I mean, that's really what it
exactly.
is. It's the
Yes.
passion. And what kind of music are you playing with these with this new gig?
It's still rock, a lot of songs in Italian. It's a mix because it was born as a charity project. It still is, but now it's more of a band that includes, a charity project. They're called Resophonic, and only with the money raised from the project that they've been able to build more than 170 wells in Africa. And each wells gives water to 20, 30 families.
This is exciting.
And
That's really
this is
cool. That's
crazy.
that's
Yeah,
that's a great
plus
thing for you to
plus
be doing.
schools, water cisterns. So it's crazy that having a good time and go around playing with a bunch of friends. We've all been able to create this. It's out of this world.
Oh well, that's so cool. I'm glad you shared that information with me because I didn't even know. I thought it was a fun thing for you, obviously, but getting back
Yeah,
and
it is fun, but I mean we're helping others as well at the
which
same
is even
time.
that's
Without
even more of a
even
reward, right?
realizing it.
Yeah,
It's
that's
it's amazing.
yeah.
I even have a well with my name in Africa.
Really?
They sent me the picture. Yeah, it's kind of it's sweet because they wrote my name wrong because I mean they couldn't really write properly, but I
Yeah.
found it the sweetest thing ever.
That is
It's
so cool.
very very rewarding.
That's so cool. I'm glad. Yeah, I'm so glad you shared that with me. Um, Before the pandemic, though, you guys were touring for Black Anima, right?
Yeah,
And I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong because I'm not Italian.
anima
Anima.
because it's an Italian word. So
Anima. Okay, cool. Thank
anima,
you.
yes.
You guys were touring on that. I saw in like December of 2019. Um, were you guys continuing touring into 2020? Did you have to cancel some shows, or were
Yeah, we
you?
had to cancel a lot of shows because we did Europe and South America,
Mm-hmm.
and then we came back home. That it was end of February, and the lockdown started around March 9.
Mm-hmm.
And we were supposed to leave to touch some places in Asia, like Japan, or we were supposed to go to Dubai, to Thailand, in a lot of places for the first time. And then we were supposed to do a North American Canadian tour with Apocalyptica. that has been moved to next year, and then we had to cancel all the summer festivals.
Yeah, that was
And
a
we don't
bummer.
know when we're gonna start playing again.
I
We have some
know.
shows
There's
planned for December, but
You don't know if they're going to be able to happen or not. Yeah, I know. That's the same boat everyone's in right now. Early on, we were optimistic. It's only going to be a couple months delay, and then it's like, nope, it's going to be a lot worse than that. So now it's just kind of
yeah,
waiting. But
we can't know. We can't know.
there is
We
no
are supposed to
knowing.
have some shows in Russia, but now Russia is not in a very good place, while it was okay up until a while ago. So we can't really know.
It's yeah, it's just it's really unfortunate. I mean, it's good to be optimistic, but at the same time to be realistic. It's like there's no way of knowing when we're going to be at concerts. Although we love them so much, like, and everybody wants them, they're not exactly essential. You know what I mean? When it really comes down to a life or death kind of thing, it's not really essential. So those are going to be one of the last things to go back, unfortunately. But I did see that you guys announced that you're going to be on download, given it happens in
Yes,
2021. How many downloads have you guys done? We've done a few now.
few ones. I can't remember the exact numbers, but the exact number, but we've been on few downloads, and it's really exciting to go back because we haven't played download for many years.
So this will be kind of a
Yeah,
reunion
we
to
played
download
we
for you.
played in the UK consistently, but we didn't play download for quite a long time, and I'm extremely excited to go back.
Yeah, those are great festivals that they put together in the UK
Yeah,
over there. They always get
for sure.
big names and all sorts of names from everything, and it's
Yeah, and the organization, everything is perfect for either bands and the fans coming to the show, and that's why the atmosphere is perfect. They know how to do it for sure.
absolutely, absolutely. So just a couple other quick things I wanted to get, and then I'll let you get back to the rest of your night. It's you're in Italy. I gotta get back to the rest of my day. I started out.
Yes, exactly.
One of the reasons why we're not sharing grappa virtually right now is because it's 11 o'clock in the morning. Although I have started drinking that early into the pandemic, I'm not doing it today.
Yeah, or back in 90, 96 and 94, where Jägermeister was just like giving us shooting.
Oh, totally.
Actually, speaking of Ozfest, I found out that the original shots.
Oh,
Do you
wow.
remember that they were producing like shot glasses with
Yeah,
the
they were.
name of the
Yeah,
brands?
yeah. We had. I didn't grab any of those, but I remember because we were.
Yeah,
They were in all of our buses. Yeah, they were all in our
I
buses.
probably have some Avenged Sevenfold somewhere, like in the but yeah, that was like it's yellow because it's old and not because it's dirty, but.
Yeah, because it was used.
But yeah, but yes, I mean, yeah, back then I remember that we used a lot of them.
It's good that you remember that because a lot of the times I don't remember that.
Because I was the one filming. I have some gems that you have no idea.
Oh, dude, I would love to see those. But actually, our fans probably would too. If you got any, I gotta look and see if we have any photos. We could put them in this episode of us hanging out. Man, that'd be real. I'm sure that'd be a blast for everybody. I'll try and find some. I know they're out there. I just gotta go find them.
Yeah, yes, there is a cool picture with it with the Rev, because we went to Dan's home, the guitar player of Disturbed
Yep.
invited us to his place. So I remember that we went there and we had a great evening. That evening that ended up on your boss dancing.
Yep. Oh, the Rev could get anyone to dance. I mean, that was kind of the thing.
Such a
Some
great
drinks
guy.
and yeah. I know he was very fond of you, so that was, and I know you guys had a lot of fun moments on that tour as well. And then, as you mentioned, going over to Dan's house in Disturbed, and that was the first time we became friends with the Disturbed guys as well. And to this day, I'm still texting the guys that we did a
Yeah, they're great as well.
yeah.
See, that's the good thing, that I think it's good, to keep this bond. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. I mean, it's fulfilling.
Yeah. There's one thing I have to ask about because I just saw you posted about it the other day, and I didn't realize until I saw you post on Instagram about it. You were a judge on The Voice in Italy. Is that, and then, or
Oh
were
yeah,
you
I was
asked
in 2018.
in
Yeah, I did.
2018? Okay. I didn't
Yeah.
know that. I apologize for not knowing. I don't have
Oh, don't
Italian.
worry.
I don't have
Don't
Italian
worry.
channels here.
No worry. And there are so many The Voice around the world, that every country has its own.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned that in your post that you had a little like you were worried about backlash at the time, and
Well,
you could go see
because
the post.
how conservative the metal scene can be
Yes,
sometimes.
absolutely
They
can
would
be.
expect you to be and stay in a box forever, to to conform to metal rules. But I was never like this. I mean, I always loved rock and metal, but to me, a rock and metal spirit is to do whatever you like,
Absolutely.
go for experiences. I don't want to conform because I want to fit metal. I mean, that's to me, it's not metal at all. So when they asked me to become a judge, I knew that there would be some people telling me like, "Oh, you're a sellout because you're going on TV, because you're going in a talent show." But truth is, I wanted to experience personally how it really was, because everybody was talking about talents, but no one really knew how it was. And I had the opportunity to be there into it, to meet the people, to know how the choices were made, to see the progress of every live they were doing or recorded.
Yeah.
And it was very interesting. I met a lot of people. I'm still in touch with a lot of the guys who participated to this show, and I would do it again because it was fun. It
Yeah,
was
I
a
was
lot of
going to
fun
ask.
for
It
me.
sounds like it would be a blast and very interesting too, right? I mean,
It was.
we've been behind cameras and stuff in Lacuna Coil and Avenged Sevenfold and being on stage, and but each thing has its different production that goes into it, and being behind the scenes. I just got to ask, what were some of the things that like you didn't expect went into creating a TV show like that?
Yeah, I've learned a couple of things. The first one, I was very curious about the choices, because I thought that we would have someone telling us, you have to decide for this person or the other person to go on in the program because they win a contract at the end of the TV show. So I was really worried because I didn't want this. I wanted to take my own decisions, and I wanted to let whoever I wanted to progress in the show, which luckily was exactly like this. I mean, I could pick up, whoever I wanted to. And I've learned that you have to be quick in your decision. And if you're thinking that you're going to bring forward a person, you might change your opinion in 1 second after one performance or after a moment. So that was really weird. And then I have learned that I learned a lot from whoever was working in the show, but I also left a lot because the fact that I've been working worldwide made me more experienced and fast in a lot of things. So a lot of times happened that I was just like, "Why are you going through all those things
Steps,
when
yeah.
you could go from here to here
Yeah.
right away?" So it was cool. It was cool cooperation because I left something and I learned a lot.
That's really cool. You were able, yeah, that's really cool. You're able to come in and go like, "Hey, you could do it this way," and they were, and
Yeah, I mean,
they were
traveling,
open.
you
They were
know
open
how
to
it
it.
changes you, meeting
Absolutely.
all other cultures, like find out how other people are working.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that really makes you grow.
Absolutely. You know, a lot of times like people ask about, how traveling is and this and that, you get the typical questions from friends at home and not people who don't necessarily travel a lot. And they're like, "Oh, what was this city like?" You're like, "Yeah, I don't really know, but I could tell you how awesome it was to play that city."
Exactly, exactly. I know every bathroom, every in the venue, but
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. No, it's funny, but we get to learn so much, like you said, going into those different places and working rather than going in and just you go in and you go for a vacation. Obviously, you learn a lot by going to the historical things, and that's one side of education for it. But like when you're actually working there and going from place to place, as you
it's
stated, it's
different.
different. You get to learn a different side of how things get done, really.
It
And
is. It is totally,
uh,
totally, totally.
So you're bilingual at least. I mean, Italian and English. Is there another language?
I'm trying my best in English, but I can also speak a little bit of French, but mostly French and Spanish. I understand what they're saying, but I can't really speak.
Okay. Is there any other
But
like hidden talents? Because I mean, I see you post in Italian and English. That you got two big fan bases there that are a little separated by. I'll admit it. It's the English people that don't want to learn other languages. So we're the lazy ones. I'll admit it. I mean,
well,
so
it's the easiest language to communicate with everyone. I mean, I would totally. I would totally understand.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be the same.
I should know. I know a little bit of Spanish, but it's all dirty Spanish from like just being from being
Those
a
are the first words that you learn.
absolutely. But is there some other hidden talents that I mean, aside from the video gaming, you're going to learn how to put together computers. Is there another one that's out there that would probably shock some people to know that, or something that you're even working on?
I don't know, that I can make a great handmade olive focaccia.
Oh, there we go.
It's not really a hidden talent. I mean, I can't really call it a talent, but
no, I think I agree that that's a talent. But yeah, okay. So what is happening with Lacuna Coil aside from, you got the live stream that we already talked about, Live from the Apocalypse. That's on September 11th. Everybody go check that out. But what is happening after that? I mean, I know this is going to be a big focus from now to then because you are going to put so much production into it, which I'm excited to see. But do you have any plans after that at this moment? Or do you guys, I mean, is it all kind of up in the air just because of the state of the world?
no, we have plans, but they are only plans because I mean, we basically moved all the live activity to the next year. So we just have to hope that everything will go back to somehow normal. And that's it. I mean, I think that we will see from December on if something will change because everyone is afraid that with winter coming back, the virus will come back again as strong as it was. But we can't know. We can't make plans.
I will applaud you guys in Italy though for turning it around and from what I'm hearing, everybody's social distancing, wearing masks, and that's a very smart thing to do right now, guys. It's not like that's
no. We were I mean, now it's more relaxed because, like, for example, in open spaces, you can remove your mask. I see a lot of people with no mask at all. I always bring it with me because I think it's just fair. I am trying to protect other people from me because I mean, I feel great, but who knows? I might have the virus and they might have someone at home who has health problems or an elder, and I don't want to be the cause of someone else's death only because I feel, stronger than everyone else and I don't give a fuck about the others. So
well, that's it right there. You just nailed it right there. Not giving a fuck about other people. It's just
yeah,
really
because
kind of
I mean that goes to that goes to not looking at the big picture. If everyone would be observing social distancing, things would go better as they are in Italy because we've been forced to stay in Italy. At home, no one was able to go out, and that's why it worked.
To everyone in America who's still struggling with this, I understand it's very frustrating, but take it from Cristina right here in Italy. She's putting concerts back on people. This is awesome.
No, things are much better here because we've been able to observe rules. And I mean, not observing rules, it doesn't make you a rebel. In this case, make you an asshole. Because there are some guidance rules, they are there to make everyone's life better. And every one of us want to go back on track and to go back doing what we did before.
Absolutely. And we'll get there. It's going to take some time, but we'll all get there and we'll be able to get some concerts back and hopefully everyone will be ready for it when we get there. But I think I've taken enough of your time. Thank you so much. We got to do this again.
Pleasure.
We got to do this again in person down the line with or without the cameras.
I would love that.
A lot more drinking because we didn't even drink on this one. So we got to do another one where I'll make you some cocktails. Everyone go check out Lacuna Coil. Their Instagram is Lacuna Coil Official. They're on Twitter, Facebook. You know where to find it. Just put in Lacuna Coil. We'll put the tags here somewhere, everywhere. And Cristina is also on all the socials and Twitch, everywhere. Just do a Google search. It's that easy.
Exactly. Google it.
All right. And everyone, thanks for checking out the episode. Thanks again, Cristina, and I'll talk to you later.
Thank you, Johnny,
Cheers.
and thank you, everyone, for watching.
Cheers.